As we step into this new year, there are quite a few of uncertainties. That said, one thing that is certain is that we've almost had one full year of this pandemic. And that being the case, this year has been a time of a lot of trial and error and readjusting our lives so that we can continue on with our lives in some degree. With this new year, I want to offer up some suggestions and advice to how we can continue to support the children in our lives and vice versa. Let's think for a second of some of the adjustments that we've had to make. What were some of the ones that worked? And what were some of the ones that didn't? What were their differences? And how did they help you and the children in your life? Picture this. You're at the beginning of the pandemic and things are kind of chaotic. You're inside a childcare center working with a group of children. As you adjust to work within this pandemic climate, you come to realize that there are certain protocols and restrictions that you and the children need to adhere to. Not only that, with each passing day, it seems like more and more things that you and the children enjoy in your life are being taken away. One day you can't play with sand, another day you can't share toys, another day you can't even go to public places. Let's think for a second of how you might be feeling as these restrictions seem to just pile on and your world becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. I think it's safe to say that this pandemic has not been easy for anybody, and we've all been faced with different challenges in different regards. For young children, it can be difficult to process through what's going on and to fully understand why more and more restrictions and more things are not being allowed. This in turn can cause the classroom environment to become kind of tense and difficult to manage as things are changing constantly. Now, in many ways, the classroom environment and the home are quite similar in that there are schedules and routines that children and we go through on a daily basis. The thing is, when restrictions and protocols come in play, sometimes these routines and schedules can sometimes seem impossible to continue on with. And so, what do? Do we just throw these schedules and routines out the window and redo things? Or is there another option? This is where frameworks can be very helpful. In the field of early childhood education in BC, we follow a framework called the BC Early Learning Framework. And this framework helps educators like myself to plan programs that can support children in a manner that is less restrictive than a traditional schedule. When we take this idea of a framework and implement it into our home environment, it can be quite helpful. This is because a framework recognizes the reality and the necessity of things that need to happen, but then it allows for a freedom in how those things can take place. And so, for example, in your home environment, you wake up, you brush your teeth, you eat your breakfast, maybe you have some playtime, maybe you have some focused reading time, maybe you have some TV time. All of these things are part of your daily routine. When it comes to supporting children to engage with the world around them while adhering to these restrictions, we can allow for some freedom in when and how certain routines take place. Maybe you want to plan your routine or your schedule around meal times, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then, in between those times, there's freedom for what to do, how to do them, and when to do them. And so you can give this freedom to the child and allow them to choose between breakfast and lunch. Would they want to go for a walk? Would they want to play in the yard? Or maybe they just want to read a book. Then, after lunch, they also have these options, maybe with a few more. And so this way, you're still having a routine, you're still having a schedule, but then you're allowing the child to have freedom, to take a sense of responsibility, and also to feel like they are able to engage with what is going on, instead of feeling like they're being restricted because of what's going on with the pandemic. As we engage with children in this way, it gives each of us a sense of newness and anticipation for where our day is going to go. This then can alleviate some of the stress, alleviate some of the anxiety that we both may be feeling, to in turn focus our attention on what choices we want to make and how we can make them. By doing this allows both the child and ourselves to continue on this journey despite restrictions, to watch, think, be.